Hi, I'm Jackie. This is a Rooted in Love flow. So let's get started in a hero's pose. If you can find that accessible, we're just sitting all the way back onto our shins. So if this is not comfortable, you can definitely like mermaid, sit off to the side, or find cross-legged. We're just gonna be here for a few minutes, breathing and tuning into our breath and our bodies and our hearts. So if it feels good, one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. And close your eyes. Start to land here in this body, in this moment. Maybe leaving behind the rest of your day, the tasks on your list, the requests from other people. And just take these few minutes to tune into you. See if you can feel your heartbeat. See if you can feel the rhythm, the pulse, this energy that keeps us alive, that keeps us loving, that keeps us breathing, that keeps us sharing our gifts. As you breathe in, can you feel your chest rise to meet your hand? Can you feel your belly fill, expanding with breath and life? Trillions of cells working so hard all together to make you, you. There's so much here to love. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, filling up, and exhale through the mouth. Big sigh. Another one just like that. Inhale. Big breath in and exhale. Open mouth. Beautiful. Coming back to your natural breath, feeling the pulse of your heart, maybe letting a smile come to your face. Bring to mind something you love, someone you love, and let their energy fill you up with joy, you can slowly let your hands find your thighs, slowly open your eyes, and we'll continue with joy as I offer pranayama practice called Breath of Joy. I highly recommend it here in our hero's pose, but if it's better for you, cross-legged, you can just kind of do the arms bit. So I'll show you how it works. From a hero's pose, we're seated, we're here, we're in our neutral. On an inhale, we're gonna rise up, so we're standing on our shins, bring our arms all the way up overhead, big breath in. Expansive, gather everything, all the love, all the energy from the universe. And on your exhale, sit back down on your heels, bring your arms and hug yourself, tuck into a tiny ball. Take it all in, all that love, all that energy. And on your inhale, explode up. Inhale, take it all in, and exhale, shoot back, bring it all into yourself. Move on your breath. This can be fast, this can be slow, but it must be joyful. Inhale up, exhale down. Couple more here. Maybe make some noise, that feels good. Awesome, one more here. And when you're ready, when you feel like you're complete, finding your hero's pose, maybe bringing both of your hands to your heart, closing your eyes again, and noticing if there is any difference. Maybe the rhythm has picked up a little bit. Maybe the pulse is a little bit stronger. Maybe your energy is starting to move. Let's keep it moving. Beautiful. Awesome. So from here, we're actually going to stay in our hero's pose for just another moment. I love seated cat-cow for this opening of the heart. So we're going to give it a try, but if you're like, this is not for me, you can just go ahead and find a cat-cow. We'll get there, but I just love this. So we're going to keep our hands on our thighs, and they're kind of going to act as our little guide. So on an inhale, we'll slide our hands up our thighs, back towards our center, rolling those shoulder blades down the back, look up for a seated cow pose. And then on our exhale, you'll slide the hands all the way down to the knees, rounding the spine, dropping the head, looking towards the legs for our cat. And then same thing, inhale, slide them back, shoulders roll down, chin lifts, look up. And exhale, rounding the spine, finding our cat, tucking the head, tucking the chin, getting small, maybe grabbing the knees for a little extra. Moving through this on your breath. Few more breaths here. And when you're ready, just finding neutral. We're actually going to shift to a cross-legged seat now. So just shifting over to the side. I'm going to spin over this way so you guys can see. We're going to come into some seated side bend. So you can find any seat that's really comfortable. We're going to kind of move from side to side. You can stay in that hero's pose. I really like it in a seated position here. So first thing, move a little bit of the meat away from your seat. So you're sitting up nice and tall on your sits bones. Engage your belly, lift your chest, shoulder blades roll down the back. Nice. We're just seated nice and straight in our neutral position. And then we're going to inhale our arms up overhead, look up. And on our exhale, we'll drop the left palm and we'll take our right arm up overhead. This may be enough for you, but if you'd like, you can crawl that left hand or arm out a little bit more, coming to the left forearm. You just want to make sure that you keep your right hip as grounded as possible. Mine might lift a little bit, but I'm just going to really try to make sure it scoots down. But if you're working too hard for it, keep your hand lifted, maybe even tenting the fingertips. And play here, maybe looking up feels good. Beautiful. Sending our breath to the right side. Getting into the hips already, getting into the rib cage. Nice, another few breaths here. On your next exhale, we're going to start to roll all the way forward, kind of finding a seated forward bend, and we'll kind of come to the other side. So we'll plant our right hand and lift our left all the way over. So kind of like a little bit of a swirl here, a little bit of a dynamic stretch. Stay for a few breaths on this side. Left arm comes overhead and you're looking up under the left armpit. Nice. Another breath here. And then on your next exhale, we'll slowly come around back forward, around to the front, coming all the way around, planting that left palm, bringing the right overhead. Nice. And then again, rolling forward, planting the right hand and bringing the left. Once you start going, you're like, oh yeah, this feels really good. I want to do this. Making sure to breathe space into the front and back of your chest, opening up our heart. Beautiful. Next time you come around to the front, take a moment pausing, just bending over your crossed legs. A little seated forward fold. Turn here. Beautiful. And then as easily as you can, maybe starting to roll onto all fours. So maybe you're uncrossing the feet here, finding your tabletop. Setting up our knees, hips distance apart, feet, our shoulders distance apart, tucking the toes here. Really spreading the chest wide, rolling the shoulder blades down the back. Let's engage the belly a lot and lift the knees like 2 inches off the mat just to start. I know it's tough, but we can do it. You are so strong. Amazing. And then we're slowly going to lift our hips all the way up to find downward facing dog. Woo, yes. Wiggling here, bend one knee, then the other. We're going to come into a bit of a flow here. We're going to inhale forward to a plank pose. So this nice, long, strong line. And on our exhale, we're going to shift back to down dog. If this is not going to work for you,
I recommend trying tabletop and shifting to child's pose. So a really nice alternative. So that would kind of look like this, and then like this. Inhale, exhale, or we're at inhale, exhale. So let's do a few like that. Inhaling, moving on your breath, finding that plank. Exhale back. And maybe this can be a little fluid. Rolling forward, inhaling to plank, and exhaling back to down dog. Beautiful. Holding our down dog. Drop your knees, take your knees a little bit wider, and everybody sink your hips back, child's pose. Oh yes, hips to heels, crawl those fingertips forward. Drop the forehead, rock it side to side. Maybe wiggle the hips from side to side. Beautiful, another breath here. And then we'll slowly tuck your toes and coming up maybe through tabletop, back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. And we'll take one slow walk to the top of our mat, one step at a time, maybe booty wiggle as we go, finding a nice forward fold at the top of our mat. Can inhale, start to roll up one vertebra at a time. Arms come all the way up overhead. Palms come to touch, looking up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, palms come to heart center. Tadasana mountain pose. Pausing here. Checking back in with that pulse. That rhythm, that beat that keeps you going. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, dive and fold over the legs. Plant your palms, take your right leg back, left leg meets it, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank pose, and exhale, lower all the way down. You can always drop your knees here, bending the elbows, lower all the way down. Hands come right underneath the shoulders. Inhale up, baby cobra, pushing the tops of the feet into the mat. Exhale back, downward facing dog. You can always go through tabletop. Take your feet a little closer together. Inhale that right leg up to the sky. Exhale, lunge it forward and drop that left knee down. We're finding Anjaneyasana. So we're pushing in nice and firmly into our right foot here. Lifting up maybe to the right knee, maybe to the hips. And maybe inhaling our arms up alongside our ears. Taking a brief pause, looking up, opening the heart. Maybe smiling. And exhale, bring your palms back to the mat. Tuck your left toes. Left meets right. Inhale for a flat back, half lift. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale brings you all the way up to rise. Palms come to touch. Look up. Exhale, dive and fold. Uttanasana, forward fold. Step your left foot back. Right leg meets it. Downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank pose. And exhale, lower down your way. Inhale, come on up, baby cobra. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Take your feet a little closer together. Inhale that left leg up to the sky. Exhale, lunge it forward. This time we're dropping our right knee down, Anjaneyasana. Set up for your pose, get your alignment right. Remember, it looks different in every body. Pushing into our left heel, pushing into the top of our right foot, engaging the core, engaging the booty. Maybe looking up, keeping that chest lifted, nice, smiling, yay. Hold it for a breath, and then exhale, bring those hands to the mat, tuck those right toes, right comes to meet left. Inhale for a flat back, and exhale, dive and fold over your legs. Stay for a breath. Maybe rock from side to side. Slowly start to inhale, come up one vertebra at a time. Slowly roll those shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, lift your arms up, and slowly bend your knees. Taking your feet a little bit wider apart, we're gonna sit down, all the way down, squat, all the way down to sit. Boop. However you wanna get to a seat. Beautiful. So we're gonna come into Janu Shirsasana. So we'll start with, take our right leg out straight in front of us. Nice flex to the foot, but definitely a little micro bend in that right leg. Then you'll take that left foot, flex foot to the inside of your right thigh. You're definitely gonna wanna move the meat away from your seat here.
Inhale, lifting up from the crown of the head, nice long spine. Maybe lifting the arms up overhead, and exhale, folding over that right leg. Letting it go, letting our third eye drop inward. Letting every exhale melt you a little bit further down to the mat. Stay for another breath or two. Breathing space into the hamstring and hip flexor. And you can slowly start to rise up to neutral. And from here, we're gonna take our left hand behind us, like behind our low back, and we're gonna start to come up to stand on our left shin. So you'll lift your hips and you'll be on your left shin, supported by your right foot, and you'll lift your right hand up and back. We call this Stargazer. Gaze at the stars, really pushing into our left hand, left knee, right foot. Lift those hips high. And on your next exhale, sit back down and come back to Janu Shirsasana. My dream is for you to find a beautiful flow here. Exhaling, finding your Janu, and then inhaling, Stargazer. To Janu. Moving on your breath, staying for a little longer in one pose or the other. Beautiful. When you have completed that last cycle, sitting up nice and tall, take both your legs out in front of you. Maybe give them a little shake. And then let's switch sides. So this time your left leg will be out straight. Right leg comes in, right foot to inside of left thigh, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, lift those arms up overhead. Exhale, dive and fold over that left leg. Remember, there's a micro bend here. You can also always pad under this knee. It's a really good option. Let the head and neck go. Breathing here. Breathing here. Slowly starting to rise up, coming into that same Stargazer flow. So we'll take our right hand behind us, lifting up onto our right shin this time, lifting the hips. Left arm comes up overhead, looking back, little back bend here. And exhale, sitting the hips back down and reaching right arm to come all the way back over Janu Shirsasana. Pausing here if you need a moment, and then inhaling up, finding your Stargazer. Exhaling down, finding half Janu. Beautiful. Few more like that, my loves. Opening our heart, getting energized. And the next time you find Janu, pause for another moment and slowly start to come up. We'll take our feet, both feet out in front of us, finding, again, move the meat away from your seat. Find your sits bones, sit up nice and tall. Chest is lifted. Bend your knees just a little bit here. We're gonna lift our arms up overhead, and from the waist, we're gonna exhale, dive and fold, Paschimottanasana, letting our head really fall here. The goal is not flexibility. It's not to get as far as you can. It's really about dropping that third eye, dropping in, looking in, turning in. Breathing here, sending some love to your low back, to your muscles, seeing if you can feel the pulse and the rhythm throughout your whole body. Couple more breaths here, my loves. Maybe sigh it out. Maybe smile. When you're ready, slowly coming up really slowly, one vertebra at a time. And eventually coming all the way down to your back. So you can scoot all the way up and then slowly start to shift your way so you're all the way on your back. We're going to find one more pose before we find our Savasana for our class together today. So I'd like to offer supine twist. So take your feet to the mat and then we're going to shift our hips on over to the right side to start. And you can either stack your knees and just drop them over to the left, or I always like to offer eagle wrap. So you'll take right knee over left and then drop those wrapped knees over to the left. Arms can be in a cactus shape, maybe a T, and maybe for today, an offering is to give yourself a hug. Sometimes all the love we need is just right here from ourselves. And if we can give it to ourselves, we can give it to others. But whatever feels good, expanding. If you like, you can turn your head a little bit to the right, completing this curve in our spine. Sending breath to any spots that are tight, that need attention. Another big deep breath here, my dears. You can slowly start to roll back onto your low back. Readjust your hips a little, uncross your legs, wiggle your booty a little, and then let's move to the other side. So you'll shift your hips over to the left side of your mat. You can go with the same leg variation you had on the other side or something different if it feels better. But left knee over right if you're going for the eagle wrap. And then drop those legs on over to the left. Again, option to cactus or T. Go for the hug. Pausing here, soaking in the benefits of this pose. Just because you're not doing something doesn't mean nothing is going on. Let gravity do the work here, my friends. Soaking in the benefits of all the movement, all the breath, all the attention you have brought. Your efforts are not for nothing. You can slowly start to bring those legs back up towards center. Bringing the low back to the mat. Taking any final movements you might need. I'm kind of noticing like I want a little happy baby. So that's what I'm going to offer actually. So maybe kicking your feet into your hands, knees come to the elbows. Kick one leg, then the other. Just any last wiggles you want to get out here. Maybe rocking a little bit on the low back. Give yourself a little massage. Then bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a huge squeeze. Giant hug. Massive love hug. Squeeze your face, squeeze your hands, squeeze everything in. Big, big, big squeeze. And then exhale, explode, melt, relax. Shavasana. Letting everything wash over you. Every breath, every pose. Every moment we've spent together. Absorbing it in now. Remembering that this heart, this pulse, these trillions of cells keep us going, and they need our love. And with that love, we can share more love. Please stay as long as you can. But if you have to wake up with me, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe rock your head from side to side. Bring your arms up overhead, point your toes. Big morning stretch. You bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself another little squeeze. And then roll on over to one side. Let yourself find the earth, the mat. pausing for a moment, remembering that this mat, this practice, this Sangha is always here for you to come home to. And when you feel ready, moving slowly, pushing yourself up to find a seat. If it feels good, bringing your hands to heart center, bowing your chin just a little. Feeling that heartbeat again beneath our hands. Remembering the connection between us all. Wherever you are, let's take a big deep breath out together. Get all your air out. Inhaling together. Exhale. And if you'd like, join me for Om. Inhaling. Om. Big breath in. Big breath out. Namaste, my friends. I wish you so much love. Have an amazing day.